Hey guys, welcome to the reading vlog. There's some things I need to do today, including going to multiple Barnes & Nobles because I am on the hunt. I am looking for Once Upon a Broken Heart. I almost said Once Upon a Time. I keep calling that book the wrong name. And I have not been able to find it literally anywhere. I've looked at 2 different Barnes & Nobles and I still haven't been able to find it. So I'm going to hope and cross my fingers that I can find it today. I looked at Half Price Books. Wasn't there, which is not shocking. And then, where else have I looked? I've looked at Target, not there. So I'm really on the hunt. I want this book so bad. I'm reading Caraval right now, and that's so my goal today is to find Once Upon a Broken Heart, possibly buy the second one. I cannot remember what it's called. What is it? I think it's Once Upon a something something. The second book in the series. And then I want to finish at least, so I think saying finishing Caraval is a little ambitious. So I'm on the second book and I have like 25 pages left. I wanted to finish it last night so badly, but I was so tired. My eyes were like going cross-eyed and I was like, I can't do it. I have to stop. So I had to put the book down and I definitely will finish that today. So good on me for being able to finish that. And I would love to finish Legendary today. No, that's the one I'm reading right now. Finale? I think Finale is the last one. So I'd like to at least get a good chunk of it done. Because the only reason I decided to read Caraval is because I wanted to read Once Upon a Broken Heart. And I know that you don't have to read Caraval before Once Upon a Broken Heart, but I don't know. I feel like people say that it does all the world building in Caraval, and then Once Upon a Broken Heart is just mostly about the plot and the characters and stuff like that. So I wanted to have the basis, you know? And I didn't want to spoil anything about Caraval from Once Upon a Broken Heart if I did decide to read it in the future. So I just figured I'd get it out of the way and read it first, which is what I'm doing. I read Caraval in one day. I was so impressed with myself. I literally curled up on my little chair and somehow like the sun was setting and I was like, oh my gosh, I just finished this whole entire book in one sitting. It was so good, shockingly. I guess not shockingly because it's really popular, but I really did not think that I was gonna like it. But I did, so I'm very excited to keep going. I think this is probably one of my new favorite series. I recommend 100%. It will definitely be on one of my lists for best books. So, with all that blabbering done, I would like to do that. So I want to find Once Upon a Broken Heart, finish at least half of Finale, and then what else do I want to do? I would like to get some tabs because I want to start reading a little bit more like high fantasy, like more complex books, and also more nonfiction. And with nonfiction, I would really like to be able to tab and stuff like that. And I just have like plain colored tabs that are like the post-it tabs that are like neon green and pink and orange. And I think they're really obnoxious. And I don't want to use them in like all of my books. So I want to try to find nicer looking tabs, if that makes sense. I just got a whole bunch of pens and highlighters and all of that stuff, which, I mean, I didn't need to because I already have a ton. But, so it'd be nice to find some new tabs. I don't even know where to look for those, so I'm gonna have to do some research maybe. And then, I think those are my 3 goals. So let's get into it. Let's just get started. I think, no, it's only 9:16. So I'm gonna read for a little bit. And then, yeah, so I'm gonna read for a little bit. And then I will go book shopping. Because it's too early to go. Like, none of the bookstores are even open yet, I don't think. I think they'll open at 10. So, let's get reading. Can we just appreciate how cute this is? I feel so bad to move him, but I'm sitting here, buddy. Sorry. less pages than I thought. And at the very, very end, I don't want to like spoil anything, but she like does like an annotated ending where it has like all of her annotations and stuff on it, and she kind of explains why, like what she was going to do instead. So she like talked about like different things she was gonna change and like how it was supposed to be different. And I actually really liked that. I didn't like thoroughly read the whole thing. I mean, it's not long, it's just a couple pages. But I found that so cute. And I like hearing that like it wasn't like how much they changed the characters like throughout actually writing the story. And then there's always a little playlist at the end. So cute. I love these books. My only thing is I did not like this one as much as I liked Caraval. I'm hoping, so I obviously don't want to I don't want to put any spoilers in this, but this wasn't as like fantastical and suspenseful as the other one. Like the other one, it made you like, you turned a page and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to read this as fast as I can so I can read the next page, because you just wanted to know what was happening. And in this one, I didn't get like really the same feeling. I still liked it. Like I still thought it was amazing, but it just lacked a little bit from what Caraval gave me. I don't know if it has something to do with that. It's like the same characters as the first book, but the first book follows one person and the second book follows a different person. You don't lose, like, you mean, like, you still get perspectives from everyone and stuff like that. Not perspectives because it's third person written, but you still see, like, characters from the first book and stuff like that. So it's not, like, completely different perspective or anything like. I just don't know if it's maybe I preferred the other characters more. I don't know. I'm kind of hoping that in finale it's, like, split. Because I think that would make the most sense, that one book was one person, second book was the next person, and then the last book is together, like them together. I don't know if that's how it's gonna be. I haven't read even like the little page at the front, so let's see. I'm gonna grab it. Oh, this one's pretty. It's like purple. Finale. The last book. So I want to know who it's gonna be. So, from what it sounds like, reading like the synopsis or whatever, it's gonna be focusing on 3 different perspectives, which makes me happy because that feels like right. Like it feels like you'll get conclusions from all the characters that you like really wanted to like see. The only thing is, I know that Once Upon a Broken Heart is about characters from Caraval, and the one character I thought she was in Caraval, but she might not be. Evangeline Fox, I'm pretty sure is her name or something like that. I don't know if she's in the last one or what, but she does not exist yet. So I'm very intrigued to see what, like, where these characters come from. I do know that one of the characters, which I guess kind of spoils a little bit of, like, what's gonna happen, because obviously some of the characters, nothing can happen to them in the books because they have to be in Once Upon a Broken Heart. But I'm intrigued to see how it goes. This one is... They've all been pretty much like the same amount of pages. This one's 470 pages. So they've all increased by like a small increment each time. So this one's almost 500 pages. I would love to read this one day. I don't know if that's gonna happen, but every time I finish one of these books, it like doesn't leave you really on a cliffhanger or anything like that, which is not a bad thing. But like I could have read Caraval and like not read any of the other books and felt satisfied from Caraval, just as I felt like I could read Legendary and not like, you know, like I would feel satisfied not reading the next one, because I guess Legendary is a little bit more like stuff happens where you would like to see what happens to them, but not so much that you feel like, oh my gosh, I have to pick the next book up right now to see what happens. So it's been intriguing to see like how the stories go. I I'm very interested to see how this one's gonna go, because there's no, like in the other two books there was like a caraval happening, but in this one there's no caraval happening. So I'm very interested to see how it's gonna go, because I know in the other books, like, you kind of have to question, like, what's real, what's not real, and in the first book you got like satisfaction from like, oh, none of this was real, like this stuff was real, this stuff wasn't, and you didn't really get the same thing in the second book, so it kind of seems like it's going in that direction, where like maybe things are more real than they seem. So I'm gonna get started on finale. Let's see, what time even is it? Actually, I need to, it's 9:40 now. I need to write it in my journal, my book journal, and then I need to write in my planner that I finished the book. So I have to fill that out first, and then I can start finale. So I didn't read for too long, because it is now 10:21 and I want to go to the bookstore. So I made it about 40 pages. Not bad. So far, I really like it. I mean, I'm super early in the book, but it has that like fantastical aspect that I felt like I was lacking a little bit in Legendary. She, like, the way she describes things is very lyrical almost. Like, she was talking about, in the last book, like an apple, and every time she talked about an apple, it was like a different color. Like, and it wasn't even like talked about that it was weird, it was just like an observation, like, his apple was periwinkle blue or something like that, and then like that it had a bright white skin and a red interior, and like for this, she's like describing sugar cubes, and that his like bright green sugar cubes. So it's like very intriguing the way she describes things in different colors. When she references colors a lot, like she loves to describe things in color, and it's so interesting to see that like it's like the characters are just making observations about things, but they're not saying it as if it's weird or out of the ordinary. They're just like, his green sugar cubes, like it wasn't like his oddly colored, like they weren't the normal color, like they just talk about them like they're green sugar cubes. So I really like that, and I think it's very fun. So now I'm ready. Let's head to Barnes & Noble, because I have to go to the one that's a little bit farther away, which is kind of depressing because it's so cold outside and I think it's supposed to snow. I really don't want to drive far away, but I really want this book. And I've been checking for days for it to come back in stock at my Barnes & Noble, and it has not. So my only option is to travel to a different one or order it online, which I guess I could do, but I prefer to just buy it in person. I don't want to order it online. So let's go. I made it back from Barnes & Noble, and I'm finally back from Barnes & Noble. It was a hike to get there. I don't really like going to that Barnes & Noble because it's so far away, and I have one so close to me. I mean, and by far away, I'm saying like 25 minutes, which is really not that bad, but I'm so spoiled having something so close, like less than 10 minutes away, to go that far just for something that I know the store is so close to me. It hurts me a little bit. But I figured I'd show you what I got. I think it's pretty obvious what I got. And then I also figured I would show you all the books I got this weekend. So it's like a little tiny haul. Sorry about the crinkle. Hey. So I of course got Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. I'm so excited, even though I know I have to finish Caraval before I can actually start this. Ooh, I just want to know. I want to read it. I want to know the hype. I hope it's the one thing I don't like is that I just really dislike these covers. I love the UK version, and I wish, like, why did they change it so much? The UK ones are so pretty. But I also figured I would get The Ballad of Never After, which just came out. This is the second book it's going to be a trilogy that was released recently, that was supposed to be a duology, I think, and it's now a trilogy, so this was actually 50% off. I'm shocked. This book just came out. And it's so weird to me that they would make this one 50% off and not the first one. I don't know, I guess it makes sense because they're like, oh, if you're gonna buy the first one, you might as well buy the second one because it's 50% off, I suppose. But so cute. It has a little foiling on there, but yeah. So I just like don't really enjoy the way these look. I like the spines. Oh, mine's a little crinkled, but I think the spines are pretty. I also got 1984 by George Orwell. This is not for me, though this is a really good book. I have read it. Speaks for itself. It's a classic. I also got this. So this is what I got over the weekend. So I got these today. And then yesterday I got, let's see, Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte. This is also another classic. I've heard good things about this one. I'm trying to read more classics, so that's the reasoning behind me picking that one up. I also got Chain of Gold by Cassandra Clare. This is the Last Hours series, and I think this is a trilogy. The third one just came out, and I'm pretty sure it's a trilogy. I could totally be wrong. And I've heard, again, a lot of good things about this. So it's just like another series in the Shadowhunters universe. And I love the spines. They're so pretty. And they look so cute lined up next to each other. Next, I got Lock Every Door by Riley Sager. I got this at Half Price Books, so it was pretty inexpensive. Again, I've heard really good stuff about Riley Sager's books. I've been wanting to read one, and every time I go to Half Price Books, I check to see if they have books by her. And they almost never do. And they finally had one. I don't even know if this one's popular or not, but I'm intrigued to see if she's worth the hype. And the final book I got, also at Half Price Books, which I was very excited about, is Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies. It's by Heather Fawcett. So cute. I hate that they put these stickers on them though. But I love, it's a naked book, so there's no dust jacket or anything like that, which I very appreciate. I don't like the dust jackets, I take them off anyways. The only reason I like them is for like decorative purposes if they're really pretty, but I don't mind if it's just printed right onto the book. So this is a book that I wanted to, on the list of books I want to read this year. It just came out, so I was pretty excited to find it at Half Price Books, even though obviously not half price because it's brand new. But I saved a couple dollars, which is fine with me. And that's all the books I got. Very exciting, I guess. I think I'm ready to kind of go on a book buying freeze because it is, what's today's date? The 16th of January. So, 16th of January. And it is like, how many books have I bought? I've bought at least like 20 plus books this year, which is just baffling. And that's like one book a day, essentially. I need to really read through some of the ones I have. But now that I've went to Barnes & Noble, I can check that off the list. So, checked off my checklist, my mental checklist, because I didn't write any of this down, of things that I want to do today. So, it's now, I think the last time I checked in, it was like 10 something. It's 12:22 now. 12:22. And, 12:23 now. I'm ready for lunch. So I'm going to eat, and I'm going to keep reading Finale. And I'm ready to grind and really hopefully get a big chunk of it down. I also should put away these books. So I'm going to put away my books, and then I'm going to eat and read Finale. Good plan. So I made myself a little salad. I have my water. And my book. What else could I need? Nothing. So, I'm happy now. So I've been reading for a few hours now, and I am about halfway through the book. Finale. So much has happened, which is insane, because the other books kind of have like a slow start, and then some stuff starts to happen, but like this one, I feel like every chapter has just had crazy stuff happening in it, and so much stuff is happening. So it's like very much keeping me on my toes, which is what I loved from Caraval, missed from Legendary, and like it's definitely being compensated for in this book because it's going crazy. There's something just happened that was like, oh my gosh. Well, actually, there's so many things that happened. Like, I feel like so much stuff happens so quick that it's like jarring almost. Oh, it's so good so far, though. I really like this one, which makes me happy. And it is how I thought it would be, so it's split half and half perspectives, which is really nice because I missed some of the characters that we weren't really getting perspectives from. And there's so many love interests and like so much romance stuff happening, and I'm thoroughly impressed with this book so far. And I definitely am hoping to get even more done because I'm enthralled and I don't want to stop. So I'm going to keep going, but that's my midway check-in. I actually might take a break for a little bit just to like rest my eyes because I feel like I've been going so fast, like reading line for line, just like my eyes are like going cross-eyed. So I'll probably give it a little bit of a break and then get back into it. But so good so far. I can't get over it. Oh, so good. Good morning. It's the next day. It's currently 7 a.m. Oh gosh. I'm very tired. I would prefer to be sleeping, but let's see. I did make decent progress last night while I was laying in bed. I'm at page 310, so I'm super close. I probably have about 130-ish pages left. I do work today, but I really want to get this finished, so I think I'm just going to spend the morning reading until I have to go to work, and hopefully, I don't think I'll finish it, but like at least get a big chunk done of it. So that's my game plan for this morning. I don't know how confident I feel about it. I'm a little iffy. I think that it's going really fast though, which is good. So I've been able to get through it pretty quickly because I'm just like very interested in the story, and so much stuff has happened, like even more stuff than the last time I checked in. There's so many different side things going on that it is insane to keep track of a little bit, but so entertaining. We just found something out about one of the main characters that I don't know if I want to say I'm shocked about it, but I am at the same time maybe a little bit shocked about it. I guess it makes sense. I'm intrigued. Like, I would like to know if this was something that was like decided at the beginning of like Caraval when the story was being written, or if this was like while she was writing this one, she was like, oh, that'd be a good idea, so I'm gonna do that. I would love to know that. I wonder if that's out there somewhere. Or maybe it's in here somewhere. But I'm very shocked about what's going on. And our other main character, she has so much like love interest, romance, drama stuff that's happening. It's like very intriguing to see the way that she handles romance versus the other girl. It's very different, but also a little bit the same. I feel like they kind of take after each other, but that's what I have going on right now. I'm gonna sit here, read, hopefully finish it quite a bit, and then I can move on to Once Upon a Broken Heart. I have another update. I'm on page 343, so I don't think I've read a whole ton. I mean, it's not that farther past since I last checked in, but the craziest thing just happened. This book has so many like plot twists, and not even just like plot twists, but like things that you didn't expect, and then they like say it and you're like, what? Like, it's like the craziest stuff. Oh, the one character, she just found out that one of her love interests did something really shady to her, and oh, it's so funny, but it's like so hard to tell like what's true and like what their actual like emotions are, and like I feel like there's a common theme throughout all three books is that it's like you don't really trust the narrator's like descriptions of like you don't really know like truly like, is this person telling the truth? Is like these people's feelings real? Are they fake? It's like you don't understand their like motives behind things until like way farther after they happen. So, oh, this one's so good. This is probably my favorite one out of all of them. And I thought that you'd be losing like the magical aspect because there's no Caraval happening. But it is like crazy. There's so much like, the writing is so magical, and like they keep going to a different house, and like every house is just like so uniquely described and stuff like that. It's so pretty. I love it. I'm hoping that I probably have about maybe like 100 pages left. I don't know. Maybe I don't really know how many pages I read. I forgot what I left off at. But ugh. And one of the other characters, the main character, something crazy just happened to her too. So they're like separated right now. And the one girl, like, oh, some crazy stuff is happening to her, and I feel so bad for her. Because, like, the one character is, like, it's just, like, a lot about just, like, her love interests and stuff like that. And then the other character, it's, like, more so about her and, like, the struggles she's going through. And she's just, like, so sad right now. It makes me sad. Oh, so good. I think I'm gonna take a break, though, and eat breakfast because I'm still have not eaten, and it is now 7:50. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna get back into reading because I'm so excited to see how this ends. So much stuff has happened, I can't even anticipate like what the ending is gonna be. I'm in the home stretch. I have about 30 pages left. I'm at chapter 55, and stuff is like actually starting to happen now. So like all of these small things have been happening, and we're finally like to the point where like everything's coming together and it's just gonna like take off for the conclusion. So I'm very excited. So much stuff is happening. Something just happened to one of the main characters that I'm not that happy about. One of her love interests, I enjoy him, but I get so frustrated by like some of the stuff, I don't know, not weirds me out, but I like am intrigued to see where it's gonna go and how it's gonna be used, what just happened to her, because I don't know, I feel like it could go in like a weird, uncomfortable way that I won't like, or something could happen that could like stop what I think could possibly happen. So I'm hoping that it doesn't go in the weird, uncomfortable direction that I'm thinking. So I think I'm going to be able to finish this like probably within the next 30 minutes, maybe. So that's what I'm planning for. I'm very excited to see how it ends, even though I'm kind of sad because I do really like it. So let's see. I finally did it. I finished finale. I'm so excited, but sad and happy at the same time. The ending of this story was so good. Things like really started to pick up in the last like 30-ish pages. And oh, so good. I feel like you also got like the satisfaction of like everything you wanted. Like there was nothing at the end of this story where I was like, oh, I wish it would have went a different way, or wish that something else would have happened. Like this book is perfection, and if I could give this story more than 5 stars, I 100% would. So now I get to put it into my reading journal, which I'm very excited about, and I can finally go on to Once Upon a Broken Heart, which was the goal the whole time. I really didn't think I was going to love Caraval so much, but it's definitely one of my new favorite series. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So now it's time to journal it, put it away, and move on to the next book. So now that I've officially finished Caraval, I'm going to end this vlog, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!